Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, I want to take a look at this issue of Luke Cage, Powerman, number 32 from 1976. Before we start talking about that, I want to mention another YouTube channel. This is on BookTube. They talk about all kinds of books and some arts and stuff like that. This is Grammaticus Books. Grammaticus Books. Just watched a nice comparison between the work of Frank Frazetta and Boris Vallejo, the artists. Okay, and my book, Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology, available for $7.99 on Amazon, and it has a variety of things in it, some humor, gags, and adventure. So check that out if you will, and thanks to everyone out there who has bought their copy, and also thanks to all my subscribers out there and recent subscribers. And since I keep forgetting to mention, is that this past October was the 3rd anniversary of my channel. So I've been doing this for 3 years. And thanks to all my viewers out there. Now, Luke Cage, Powerman, number 32 from Marvel Comics, 1976. You can see here it has a... This is sometime before he teamed up with Iron Fist. And he was still the solo hero for hire. Although, of course, the title was changed to Powerman. Before that, it was just Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. That's what, and the previous title that I covered, one of the earlier books, and of course later he teamed up with with Iron Fist. And they have had a productive partnership for many years, for decades, in fact, in the comics. And of course, in the current storylines, Luke is he has been a member of the Avengers, and has married Jessica Jones, and they have a baby together. And of course, he's had his own TV show, which is great. I've only seen the first season, so I don't know, but it's a good show. I think they did a real good job on the TV show. And this is a dynamic cover, eye-catching and thrillingly dynamic cover, drawn by Ron Wilson with inks by Joe Sinnott. And it's really wanting to draw you in. And the interior art work is written by Don McGregor. And I didn't realize he had written these. So he's a good writer for Marvel and other publishers. And has had a very productive team up with artist Paul Gulacy on some, I think it was creator-owned work, as well as I think they worked together on Shang-Chi. I think, I'm not sure that McGregor was the writer on some of that, but he may have been, if memory serves. And they've done a lot of other stuff. Don McGregor is a good writer, so it's going well there. With pencils, interior pencils by Frank Robbins, and inks by Vince Collette, with colors by Janice Cohen. Now, Frank Robbins, talked about several times, when he did he did a lot of work for DC, doing some Batman stuff, worked on the Shadow and the like. And he goes way back. I talked about him with his Johnny Hazard comic strip. And remember, at the time, he was doing this for Marvel. He was still doing the comic strip, too. So he had like that 30 comic strip, Johnny Hazard. He did that for like over 30 years. And he's also known for, at Marvel, for drawing both the Man from Atlantis and the Invaders with Frank Springer. Now, he has an unusual style and stylization. And this is one time when Vince Collette, a lot of people just don't like Vinnie Colette's inks. And it depends on what he's doing. And I think Vince Colette's work on here is a big boon to, because it really helps solidify, soften and make Frank Robbins' pencils look a little bit more lovely. And of course, Frank Robbins was an expert in visual storytelling. And so we'll take a little look here. The story begins. It's already right in the middle of a battle. Boom! It was from the last issue. The Fire this time. And he's in with this, what do they call him? I forgot what he called himself, Firebug or something like that. And he's in the area of New York called known as Jamaica, and this is a fairly upscale, middle class neighborhood, and he's trying to torch and run this torch up and torch the house and run off this a black family who is living in this primarily white neighborhood. This is a dopey costume. Really is a dopey costume. This is the kind of character that he has no superpowers. He just has this flamethrower, and he wouldn't have been, using a goofy costume like this. But it looks better in the comics, but in real life it would look really stupid. And he does look kind of dopey, in my opinion. And Luke is avoiding the flames while he's trying to keep the house from getting burned. And he was hired by the homeowners to help protect them from this kind of harassment. And he is doing just that while endangering himself. There, the part of the house is in danger of burning. He gets some nice artwork here. See, this is one of the places where Vinny's ink work really, really helps. And it's working really well. He's fighting. The guy runs off when the cops and the fire department gets there. They put the flames out. The homeowner helps distract him so Luke can get close enough to kind of punch him. But this is one thing. The guy has no superpowers and everything, but he's really holding his own against Luke Cage. Here's another really good panel with that Vince Collette has inks probably really, really helped with. All of these. And then he was later with Cage is later with this cop who's a friend of his, who's kind of a frenemy in a way. And they both separately wound up staking out the house, thinking the guy's going to come back. And too many ads. And here you can really see that some nice work in the backgrounds here that he did. This is the villain here, and he's not really necessarily muscular, but when he gets the costume on, he's big and bulky and muscular. And he is a working class fellow, and his wife doesn't know his extracurricular activities. So he gets suited up, and he spots the guys up in the tree watching the house, and torches the tree. And Luke, when he jumps out of the tree, he winds up smashing through the roof of the house, warning everybody, get everybody out of the house, get the kids out of the house. And then he goes out and starts punching on the guy. This is a guy with no superpowers, and he's really holding his own against Luke Cage, who is virtually impervious and several times stronger than humans. This is one of the downfalls to the story, I think. But overall, it's a good, thrilling story. They get the kids out, except one of the boys he's hiding under the bed because he's thinking it's kind of a game. And he hides under the bed. Then they discover that the house is burning, and Luke is distracted to help get them out. Then go back to fighting, and then the homeowner, the father, he rushes back in to save his boy, brings him out while Luke, who is unconscious apparently. And this Luke just loses it, and he nearly beats the villain to death. But he stops. But unfortunately, the boy has died from smoke inhalation. It ends on a sad note. It's a good, thrilling story, and I think it's very well told by these artists, and it is fun to read. And it says ends on a sad note. It's unfortunate. But that's all I've got for you this time. Please like, share, and subscribe, and do leave a comment. I do read every comment and try to answer them. And all that jazz. Let me know what you think of Luke Cage, Powerman, compared then to now, etc. And remember, comics are art.